my screen here.
Hi, I'm Eileen, and this is my assistant and co-student here, Ashley. And we are both going to give you a little brief explanation on how to talk to a deaf person, because once or maybe more than once in your lifetime, you will encounter a deaf person in school, at work, or maybe a neighbor. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of deaf culture history, a little bit of the way they communicate and interact, and then we're going to give you some basic signs that you can use in communicating with a deaf person. Basically, there are 3 types of deaf people. There's the hard of hearing. They can hear with amplification, hearing aids. They can basically hear voice to a certain level. Then there's the severely deaf. If they have amplification, they might not hear voices. They hear a little bit higher frequencies, let's say a car passing by and honking a horn. And then we have the profoundly deaf. Profoundly deaf is also known as stone deaf, meaning they really don't hear even with hearing aids. They might catch very high frequencies, like a jet plane flying low, or a big truck honking a horn very close to them. So profoundly deaf is the lowest level of deafness. We call them off the grid because there is a hearing grid, and the profoundly deaf are like kind of outside of the grid towards the bottom. A little bit of history about how I got involved with deaf culture and American Sign Language, which is the language that the deaf use here in America, Canada, and Puerto Rico. I have a deaf daughter. She's 22 years old. When she was 7, I realized that I did not understand what she wanted, and I cried. I decided I needed to go to school and learn. Ashley worked for a hotel for 4 years, and they taught their employees finger spelling. Finger spelling, believe it or not, you can get through a whole conversation with a deaf person. It's a little hard because it's a lot of finger spelling, but if you want to communicate with somebody, finger spelling is your best bet if you don't know a lot of signs. Also, I wanted to talk about learning to use sign language. Might seem difficult, but it is a lot of fun. If you practice it, if you learn the little bit that we teach you today, if you practice it, it'll stay with you for the rest of your life, and you can use it at any time when you encounter any deaf person. So now with that said, I want to leave, Ashley's going to talk to you about the techniques in talking to deaf people.
Okay. So the first thing that you want to do is get their attention. So if you want to go ahead and make eye contact with them and you wait till they look at you, then you can go ahead and proceed to talk. The next thing you want to do, or if that doesn't work, I'm sorry, you can go ahead and touch them slightly on the shoulder or on the arm. Most people don't like being touched on the arm, so the shoulder is best. You don't want to poke them, grab them, shove them, repeatedly tap them. That's just rude. And then also, if you want, you can go ahead and just give a small wave. Don't, wave frantically like that. That's just making you look crazy. So just go ahead and give them a small wave. They'll approach you. And then do not throw anything at them in any situation with anybody. That's just rude. So you want to stay in their field of vision. So you want to just go ahead and stand directly in front of them. You want to keep eye level with them so they're able to read your mouth and your lips. And you want to avoid any type of sun or shadows. That interference will hinder them from reading your lips properly. So you want to go ahead and talk in a normal voice. Do not whisper or talk slowly. If you talk slowly, it hinders your mouth, it distorts your lips and it hinders them from reading your lips properly. Do not shout at them. They are deaf. You shouting is not going to do anything. And it also distorts your lips, and it kind of makes you look like a little crazy person, not only to them, but to people around you. And it also makes them uncomfortable as they know that you're shouting at them. So the next thing is you want to remain on topic. Do not try to jumble from one topic to another. Stay on one topic, one discussion. That way it's easier for the conversation to flow better. So you want to use hand gestures or any type of facial expressions that will help you get your point across. So if you're saying that you need to go that way, you can just say, you go that way, or whatever you need to. If you need to act out anything, go ahead and do that as well. If you need to use any type of objects, you can go ahead and use that as well. Yes, exactly. If you're going to say, that's the mouse for the projector, just say, that's the mouse projector. And then also, you always want to be polite. You never want to walk away from them when you're in the middle of a conversation. If you get frustrated, try to hold it inside. Don't let them, see that, because that will ultimately make them uncomfortable.
Yes. So with that in mind, and first and foremost, never ever yell at a deaf person. Like she was saying, do not speak loud. They're deaf. They can't hear you. Doesn't matter how loud you want to speak. They're not going to hear you. So with that said, I gave you some handouts. We cannot go through all the words. I don't think we can go through the alphabet with enough time. Okay, so we're going to do the alphabet really quick, because with the alphabet alone, you can communicate with a deaf person. And in case of an emergency, a fire, whatever, if you can fingerspell, you can communicate. So basically, the letter A is a closed fist with the thumb sticking out like that. That's just the letter A. The letter B is a full hand. Some of these don't even represent the letters. They don't even look like it, but this is the way they do it here in America. The letter C looks like a C. So that one's pretty easy to do. C. The letter D looks like a D, right? The letter E, I guess it kind of looks like a E. F, G, H, I, J, K, I know I'm going a little fast, L, yes, that's the sign, L, M, and then N is just 2, O, like an O, P is just K upside down, Q is G upside down, Q, R, all right, S as in punching somebody, S, T, also the sign for bathroom, T, U, V, W, this is water, W, X like a little hook, X, Y, this is phone, Z. A few of them are pretty easy, some are a little more difficult. But when you can fingerspell, you can communicate with them easily. But we do have a few phrases, short phrases that you can learn really easily. So I'm gonna turn off my voice, and she's gonna well, no, I'm not gonna do that. I can't turn off my voice. Okay, so hi, hello. Just hi, hello. You can also do hi, hello. How are you is how you, means how are you. So this is how, you. My name is, my name, and then you just fingerspell. In ASL, you don't use is, are, and you don't use those. What is your name? So what your name? How can I help you? How, again, me, help you. And then you have that quizzical look on your face. I'll try my best. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Can you repeat? This is again. One moment. This is pretty easy. You know, like when somebody's talking, one moment, hold it. So, one moment. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you. Pretty easy, right? It's also the sign for good. Good and thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Right? So if you really can't do the gesturing and you can't do the signs and you can't remember the finger spelling, then you can always write back and forth. And you can tell them, and they'll know what you mean. And you, me, them. So you, me, them, or they. And last one is goodbye. Bye-bye. Very easy, right? Pretty easy. I know it's a lot for you, a lot of information for you to remember, but if you practice and you study what you've learned here, you can communicate with the deaf, and they will be very, very excited that you even tried. And in conclusion,
I could do all that slowly.
to summarize everything, don't be afraid to talk with a deaf person. They are going to appreciate it so much that you just tried. So enjoy it, have fun with it, and never, never, never yell, please. Thank you.